If you've ever thought that time was going by so fast and you wanted to maximize your time and truly show up in ways that make you proud, so at the end of every day, you're like, that was a really good day. Like, I felt like I was productive. I worked on things that were really important to me. Then listen up, because in this episode, I'm sharing simple ways that you can maximize your time. So this episode isn't about you doing more. It's really about you being more of the person that you want to be. John Maxwell said that time management is an oxymoron. Time is beyond our control, and the clock keeps ticking regardless of how we lead our lives. Priority management is the answer to maximizing the time we have. Priority management. So what are your priorities? Like, if you want to maximize your time, you got to know what your priorities are. What are the things that are most important to you? Who do you want to be? This is why I'm always talking about having a vision for your life, because when you have a vision for the direction that you want to take your life, who you want to be, then you can be wise with your time. Then you can be wise with your energy. Then you can be wise with your money. You can be intentional, really. So it really starts there. And if you need help with that, holla at your girl, because I'd love to talk with you about getting that vision and just being more mindful of how you're using your time. Because I've just been feeling like lately, I look back and I'm like, whoa, 8 years passed since I met my husband. That was like a blink. Like, it seemed like it went by so fast. And like, I feel like time is going by fast. I wish I could shift my mindset around that. I want to do an episode just about our relationship with time. I wrote a lot of notes about this. I think it'll really serve you in the future. But as of right now, this is what I'm feeling. Like, time is going by fast for me, and I want to maximize my time, live my best life. So the first tip that I have for you, number one, is if you want to maximize your time, to get your energy right. Because first and foremost, for you to be making progress on the things that are most important to you, you have to have the energy. So you got to be thinking about what are the things that are stealing your energy and that are really draining and exhausting to you. And maybe you need to delegate some of those things. Maybe you need to do them at different times. So something that I notice is that my really creative work, don't save that for after 4 p.m. because I don't really feel energized at that time. So even looking at where your energy is highest and what should you do at that time. So like, it's better for me to exercise in the morning, and it helps me actually focus better, do better work right in the morning. I like to do my creative projects early because I noticed with my energy, I looked at like how my performance was at different times of the day, how I felt at different times of the day. And I really thought about that when it came to planning certain things, like what to do. So maybe you need to check that out and see what's going on for you. First and foremost, the self-care aspect. Because if you want to have energy, that means you got to be treating your body right, eating the right foods, moving your body, drinking water, right? Filling up your mind with good things. A lot of times people don't think about what they're feeding their minds. Like, I see people watching the news all day long, and it's like, how does that make you feel? How does that affect your energy? People don't think about that. The shows that we watch, when you're watching it, how do you feel when you're watching it? How's your energy? Because you're generating that kind of energy into the world. So if you want to be really intentional with your energy, think about what you're feeding your mind and notice how things are making you feel. What energetic states are things shifting you to? Are they catabolic states? Is it tiring, draining? Is it scary? Does it make you sad? Or is it anabolic states? Does it get you excited? Does it help you feel inspired? Does it encourage you? So that's something to be thinking about, and get that water in. So many of us are not drinking enough water. Get that water in. First thing, when you first wake up, I chug 2 cups of water, sometimes 3. I have my warm like lemon water, or I put a little apple cider vinegar in it. I get that down first thing because I know I've been dehydrated overnight. And if everything's going to work well in my body, I got to drink that water. So drinking through a straw is going to serve you. Sometimes drinking from like a nice bottle, it just encourages you and motivates you, just like having nice workout clothes, make you want to work out more. At least that does it for me. So be thinking about that stuff. The second thing is to have a plan for what you want to get done every day. So only about 1% of people actually plan out their day or are intentional with their day. And I recommend you do it at minimum the night before. I always have a plan in place before the next day starts the night before. I have an evening routine that involves thinking about what I want my next day to look like because I want to set my brain up for success. So about 1% of people are actually planning their day right, but over 99%, 99.5% of people will say that they believe it's important for you to be intentional about your day, to like actually have a plan in place. They see a benefit in doing that, but only about 1% are actually doing it. So who do you want to be? That's something to be asking yourself and prioritizing that plan for the day. Think about recently my shift has been thinking about how many deep work focus sessions I want to get done every day. And when I say deep work is a term that was basically coined by Cal Newport. And he's got several books out, and I just love his work. But anyways, he describes deep work as activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive abilities to their limits. Deep work is the kind of work where you're not distracted, like you're in the zone working on something, and you're working on things that move you forward. That truly move you forward, not stupid stuff like just checking emails, checking boxes, like if it's not really, if it's just keeping you afloat, like obviously you need to do those things. There's things that we got to do that aren't considered deep work. So that would be shallow work, which is non-cognitively intensive tasks, which are low value and easy to replicate, like responding to emails, scanning websites, using social media. So deep work, that's when you're really making progress. And if you look and analyze your time, do you have a lot of deep work happening during the day? A lot of us don't. I did some analyzation of my time or evaluation of it, and I was like, wow, Ange, no wonder why you're not making as much progress on the things that are priorities to you. You say they are, but you're not doing any deep work sessions because you're just doing all the shallow work. You're staying busy, but not really productive on the things that really move the needle forward, as I say. Okay, so moving on to the third tip that I have. Oh, wait, let's go back a little bit. So the deep work sessions, there's a lot of people who have created really fun and even really amazing things in the world that, new research and discoveries. And it was done because they spent time in deep work. In the world we live in now, it's rare that people will give themselves that time and have that distraction free to focus and be in the zone. So think about what time is best for you. For example, when J.K. Rowling was writing her final Harry Potter, I remember someone said that she had posted on Twitter about like how she was not going to be available because she was like focused on writing this book and was, immersed in deep work. Just like a lot of other people who have created fun things or amazing, research, right? Oftentimes they go away into a separate cool space and they just get in the zone. And I think about how cool it would be for all of us to have that, like a regular part of our lives where we get in the zone and we focus on the things that are most important to us. Who would you be a year from now if you did that? I think about that with my own life. Like, what would I be able to create if I did that? If I regularly made deep work sessions a part of my life. Not something I do if I have extra time, right? So the third tip I have for you is to make use of all the mini chunks of time to move your dreams forward. A lot of people say, I don't have time for that though. I want to write a book, but I don't have time. I want to start a business, or I want to exercise, but I don't have time. I don't have time. You got time. And if you keep making up that story that you don't have time, your brain is going to it's going to have evidence to show that you don't have time. But if you start saying, I have time, like if I look at, while I'm standing, like you guys hear me talk about when my coffee's brewing, doing squats, that's my little time I got to work out, warming up something in the microwave. You can see me doing, working on my calves, coming up on my tippy toes, right? I just am always trying to think about maximizing my time. Like, I got this little gap where I'm waiting here right now. What can I do? Oh, I can reach out to a client. Like I was at the post office waiting to deliver a package, and I was like, I'm going to check on my clients and see how they're doing. Maximizing my time because I value them. It's not like I was just doing, scrolling on social media. I'm not going to lie, sometimes I get sucked into that, like TikTok videos and stuff. I do get sucked in. I'm really working on my mind around that because it's addicting. That's what it's designed for. But I'm trying to be more mindful of maximizing my time in a way where I'm using those little pockets of time to really be who I want to be, to honor values of mine, to make progress on the things that are most important to me. So there's an author that I follow, and he was talking about how he reads so many different books, and people are like, how do you do that? And he's like, I just carry like my tablet with me and my Kindle, no matter where I am. When I'm just standing there, I'll open my book and start reading something. And before I know it, like I finish all these books because I take advantage of all these little chunks of time in my life. It can even be like you take advantage of those chunks of time to do your own meditation in those moments. That's something I've been practicing too. So the fourth thing that I have for you, oh wait, let's go back. So the making use of all those little mini chunks of time, this is you generating that level 5 energy that I always talk about, opportunity focus, taking advantage of opportunities you have. You stuck in traffic, instead of complaining, what do? You make use of that time and you think about, like what can I do with this time? What can I move forward? How can I honor my values? You know? Oh, maybe I'll call my mom or my sister and brother, talk to them because it's been a while, and that honors my value of family and love and connection, you know? That's the stuff I'm talking about here, maximizing your time. Not level 4, tip number 4. This is the tip I have around tracking your time, evaluating what you did with it. So this is really important because when you start to see what you're doing with your time, you're going to be way more intentional about it. Just like you would if you were tracking your food, if you were tracking your exercise. Why? Because now your brain's focusing on it and it's like, oh, it becomes aware. And then once you're aware, it's harder for you to go back into those states that don't serve you because you realize more that, oh, wow, that's how I'm using my time. That's not who I want to be. When I've been doing that every day, evaluating my time, in my planner and everything, just seeing what I got done. Did I accomplish what I wanted to? Where did my time go? How many deep work sessions did I have? Looking at that stuff, it's made me just so much more intentional, truly. And it's helped me maximize my time because now I see where it goes. And that's something that a lot of us aren't paying attention to, where it's going. Even with our money, like there's a lot of areas in our life that we could give more focus to and evaluate more. And that would really, really serve you. This is why you see it constantly with trainers having you track your workouts, what you're eating, how much water you're drinking, all that stuff, because we know where focus goes, energy flows. Okay, so the 5th tip I have for you is to use the early mornings to move your goals forward. This can be your deep work time. I say this because even if you're like, well, I'm not really a morning person, I don't identify as that, research shows that the best times that people are most productive are in the earlier hours. It doesn't have to be 5 a.m. Actually, the best times are between 9 and 11 a.m. But usually that's after people have done a little self-care. They took care of themselves. They cleared their mind. Maybe they did some of their journaling, right? And then they show up and they're really productive. But take advantage of those early morning times to care for you before you got to start caring for everybody else. You know what I mean? A lot of moms will move their businesses forward so early in the morning because that's when everyone's sleeping before they feel like they have to focus on everyone else. I mean, I know that sounds like a low level energy when I say you have to focus on everybody else, but let's be real. A lot of us, we have those caring personalities and we're going to serve people. We want to. So I know if that's you, just like it is me, I want to serve them best. And for me to be able to do that, I got to care for myself. I got to take advantage of those times in the early mornings before I'm interrupted by anything else. It's my favorite time, that early morning time. I've monitored my energy and I notice I show up way better and I'm way more productive when I give myself that time in the morning. I feel so much different. And it just really has served me. And that was from tracking, like I said in our last tip. So those are my 5 tips. I'm going to recap those. So tip number 1 is getting your energy right. Figuring out what is draining it. What do you need to raise your energy? A lot of it is simple things like caring for yourself, Get that energy high so you can maximize your time. The second thing is to have a plan for what you want to get done each day. I recommend planning the night before, thinking about deep work sessions, what that would look like for you, what would be the best environment for you to be all focused and not in a distraction-free environment. The third thing is to make use of all the mini chunks of time. You're warming up something in the microwave, you're waiting for your coffee or your tea to brew, or you're waiting for someone to call you back, or whatever it is. What can you do in that short little chunk of time that will really serve you? Fourth thing is track your time, evaluate it, see where it's going. That's going to help you maximize it. And the fifth thing is to use those early mornings, take advantage of them to do those self-care practices, to make progress on the things that are most important to you. I often recommend to my clients, like if you're trying to move something forward and you're really busy with a lot of things going on in your life, use that little chunk of time every single morning before everybody's demanding something from you, right? Or you feel like that. It could be even just 30 minutes a day. You're going to make so much progress. Could you imagine if people just wrote, a lot of people want to write books. If you wrote just 30 minutes a day, it would not be long until you had that book done at all. So take advantage of that. Maximize your time. We know that our time is limited here on Earth in the form that we're currently in. We know that, right? So don't you want to maximize it? You do. So implement these tips. I hope you have an awesome day. Still want you to join my book club if you want to. It starts April 7th, and you can check out the details at bit.ly/cheers to happy. Leave a review for the show if you've been liking the episodes. I really appreciate it. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.